Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of my tea party painting. Firstly, I apologise for all the work noise going on. I'm still working on the kitchen. It was a bit bright today, so I've had to kind of try and diffuse the light a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. But I hope you'll join me and watch as I work on this painting a bit more. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here today, but hopefully at least half an hour. So thanks for joining me, and hope you enjoy it. And of course, come along and post in the chat box, and if you've got any art questions for me, then please feel free to leave them, and I'll try and answer them for you. This painting is part of my final 25 paintings for my 100 days project. I've done 75 other paintings, and the project is coming to a close now, so basically just really excited to be working on the last 25 and wanting to share the journey with you. So hope you all enjoy. I'm just going to make sure all the sound's working properly. And we'll begin. I'm going to cut out some little cupcake cases from this scrapbooking paper. It's a really nice yellow ochre kind of colour. You can't really tell that in this light, but it's got some lovely script on it. So I'm going to use that to cut out the little cupcake cases that are going to go on here, and that will give it some more dimension. Okay, so the sound seems to be working, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut these out. Having some problems with browsers this morning, so hopefully this will all record properly. So I've just drawn them out on the scrapbook paper and with normal pencil, and I'm just gonna cut them out. That's pretty small. Get the size right. Better. If I disappear, guys, I'll post a new link. Seems to be having internet issues this morning, so if you're following along, don't panic. I will post a different link if necessary. So far it seems to be running. I'm going to use the Liquitex Gel Matte Medium. This is a brilliant product to use for gluing down collage pieces, and will help them to stay stuck down, and you can actually paint over them. So this is really good. I'm just going to cut all these little bits out and glue those down, and I'm going to work on the teapot a bit more in the teacups. Streaming a bit early today, so probably won't get many viewers, if any, but wanted to take the opportunity while I had the time to work on things this morning, because puppy's sleeping and Ellie's out, so there's a great opportunity to work on this painting, because I didn't get any time to do it yesterday, so it'd be good to get back and do a bit more. That's all of them cut out now. Right, so I'm going to use the Liquitex matte medium and glue those down. And just use an old paintbrush to apply the matte medium. I've got just this cheap old acrylic paintbrush from the craft store. It works perfectly fine. So just lay a bit down on the surface and a bit on the back of the collage paper. Put it in position and then put some over the top to seal it in. I'm just going to do that for all of the cupcake cases. I might need to do some more on the tower, but I can still do that afterwards. And make sure to get all the edges stuck down so you don't have any lifting later on. A small brush is good because then you can really get into the little gaps. Press it down. I'm going to upload this to YouTube as well, so if you couldn't make it this morning, you can watch it, watch the recording on Ustream or on YouTube. If you'd like to find out more about my 100 Days of Paintings project, you can go to my website, Niki, that's Niki, jacksonart.com, and you'll be able to find all the info there and see all the paintings that I've done so far. That's the last one. Make sure to put your brush in water or rinse it out so that it doesn't go hard, because it is a glue, this matte medium, so it will ruin your brushes if you leave them with the product on it. So right, so I think I'm going to just do one more layer on the tower. I'll do one more silver layer. This is a very transparent silver metallic paint, so it needs several layers. I'll turn this around so I don't get the matte medium all over me and ruin that bit. So I started, if you missed part one, I started with a white base coat for this part, and then I've done about, I think this is the third layer of silver that I've put on to give it a nice solid finish. Keep in mind where the cupcake's going to come up to there, so we're just going to go down to that point. I'm not worrying too much about getting super straight lines because I'm going to finish it off with the charcoal pencil at the end. And just do the base, and yes, I'll add some shading onto here as well, and then maybe a bit of highlight. So now we've done the third layer. I'm going to use my earth brown craft paint to create a bit of shadow on here. So we've got the shadows are on the right hand side. Looking at it upside down, that's the left. So I'm just going to blend in some brown. If you get it too dark, you can always go in with the silver again and lighten it up. I'm recording! I probably need to go in and blend that a bit more, because it's already dried, because it's quite warm in this room. Oops. So I'll just put a bit of brown on here, and then I can go in with the silver on top to blend it. I'll rinse my brush out. Go back into the silver. so you can blend that out. Not too much on there, so I'm going to rinse my brush again, and this time I'm just going to go straight in and just clean that up a bit. Go in with a bit more paint. And same here. This is very flexible acrylic paint. You can fix most mistakes. Blend that bit out a bit more. Then I'm going to go in on the other side and put in some white. Just to give it a little bit of highlight. I'm going to use my opaque white. And you just want a tiny bit. So, tiny bit on here. Do it the opposite side to the shading. Okay, we'll let that dry, and I'm going to go in and work on the teapot now. I've got a little bit more to finish on that. I need to finish the pink and put in some highlights and shadows on that. And put one layer of pink. And then I'll go into the earth brown, and I'll put a touch of that on the right hand side. Blend that in. And then some on the heart. And then we need a bit of white. Just a touch. And that finishes that part off nicely. Try and show you a bit closer if I can. The light's really out today. If I do that, see, it makes it maybe it's alright. I don't want it to be too bright because then you won't be able to see at all. That's a bit better. Sun seems to be moving around. Okay, so now we'll work on the, let's see, that's almost dry, so we'll work on that in a minute. Let's do a bit on teacups. So I'm going to go in with white again, and then we'll put in some highlights and shading on those. We've also got the blanket to work on. I'm going to put a nice tartan style pattern on that. So I'm going to make this a real shabby chic, pretty looking tea party style painting. So I'm just going to put a layer of white, and then we'll go in with the Titan buff to add in some shadow and a little bit of the earth brown. So this is the golden, oh, can't see that at all. It's the golden acrylic Titan buff anyway. And that just gives it a nice creamy kind of a look to sort of give it a shadow. Just want it on one side. You can see the paint is drying very, very quick this morning as it's so bright in here. So we'll need to go back into the white and blend that out. And then a touch of the earth brown, just a tiny bit, just to darken it a little bit more. And I think I'll go in with a damp brush to blend this because it's just too dry. I usually blend my colours wet, so it gives it a nice soft finish, but if you're finding that it dries too quick, you can dampen your brush and blend it that way, as long as it's not too wet. You just want it damp enough to blend it out a little bit. So remove most of the wet on the brush. You have to dry it off quite a bit, these brushes, because they're watercolour brushes, so of course they hold on to the water quite a lot. You might find you need to tease them a little bit, go over them a few times to blend it out. A bit too much water dropped down from the brush, but that's okay. And I'm just going to go in with a bit more white, just to blend that in even more. To make it look nice and blended all on both sides. we'll do the other cup, then we can move on to another part. So again, another coat of white. And then some Titan Buff. Again on the right side. And a bit of earth brown. Quickly do it while it's still wet. And I'll blend in some white. Let that dry. Right, so the bottom part I'm going to be doing like a tartan blanket. I'm going to probably put some daisies on the corner here, down here. We'll see how we go, but we need to get the pattern in first. I can roughly still see where I was going to put it. So I need my very fine brush and the colours I wanted to use. So I think I'm going to go for, I think I'll stick with the pink suede, because that's a nice vintagey pink, and I'll go for the sky blue, and I'll probably add in some white and maybe even a little bit of brown. So let's have a go and start with a bit of pink. So I'm just gonna do some wiggly lines to suggest. I'm gonna have to try and see where they are. It's difficult in this light this morning. Going to be a blanket, so the lines don't need to be dead straight as they lay on on the grass. It's going to be all bumpy underneath, so okay, that'll be fine for the pink. I'm just adding a bit of blue now. Going the other way. Welcome to the chat and to the stream. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, I've got a couple of lines going this way now. Apologies guys for the noise. We're having our kitchen done and it's a bit unavoidable at the moment, but hopefully it won't disturb you too much. So you just need to do another one there. Follow the line roughly across. Welcome to new viewers. Good to have you here. We're working on the second part of my tea party painting. I'm starting to add in the detail. Right, I think I'm going to turn it round now and put in the tea for the teacups. And lighten it up on the last layer, make it look more like milk tea. And tidy that up a little bit on the other layers. Right, so I think we can add in the little hearts on the cups. Finish those off nicely. I'm going to do a couple of layers of those as well once they're dry. Now I need to go and find my yellow ochre colour so we can do these cupcake cases. This is a colour called Cocoa, another acrylic paint. So I'm just going to go over the cupcake cases. I'll do it upside down so I don't smudge the other stuff. And what I'm just going to do is go around the edges with the collage paper and just put some lines on there to suggest the little lines that cupcake cases have. We're not trying to cover up all the detail on the collage paper, we're just adding to it. Then I'm going to go in with the earth brown to darken it up a bit more, define the lines a little bit. just going to do that on the individual lines, and maybe a little bit at the top. And maybe a tiny bit at the bottom, just to give it some definition. Okay, and then we're going to go in with the white to give it some highlight as well. And that's in the opaque white. Right, and let that dry. Let's see if we need to do any more on this blanket. I think we're good actually. I don't want to add too much detail. Might just add a little bit of white in between the pink. Just bring that out a little bit more. Finishes it off nice. I'm only going to do one layer on the blanket because I don't want it to stand out too much. Just want it to be quite subtle. So we can finish off the little hearts. I'll go into finishing the tea in the cups. We'll do another layer of the dark brown, and then we'll do another layer and lighten that up. Let that dry a minute. So now we're going to work on the cupcakes. We're going to have a variety of styles. We're going to have some that have got a swirly top icing and some that have got a rounded top. So I'm going to do a mixture of blue, pink and cream, I think. So keeping all the theme of the colours all the same. So we'll have a blue one here. This is the most fun part, doing the cakes and all the little details for that. I have a pink one there, I think I'm going to have a cream one there, and do another blue one here. I think we'll have a rounded blue one here. Brush is a bit too wet there. tea in the cups. And I might even get this finished on there today. I might do. I'm going to use the Titan Buff to make it more creamy looking. Like it's got milk in it. I think I'll add in another brown on top. Got a chocolate brown here, and a bit of that on top. Okay, we'll go back to the cupcakes now. And turn that round. Let's do the white ones, I think, first. It's going to need another coat. They're all going to need 3 coats. I'm going to put nice chocolate Malteser on the top of each one at the end. Dry, and let's have a look at putting in some of the detail. and see if we need to change the background colour. I think I'm going to go in with the white. And then I'm going to take my rag cloth and the damp part of it, and I'm going to rub it in and get it all into the grain. Blend it in. I might go in with one more colour. I think I might put in some blue. Since we're not going to do the sky, we'll add a hint of blue in the background, just to carry on the theme. And again, I'm going to use my rag cloth and just blend that in. So there's hints of blue in the background. Being careful not to rub it into any of the details. And then I'm going to go in again with a bit more white. And this time I'm going to use a drier part of the rag and just blend that in loosely. And just creates a bit more interest in the background. I'm going to grab my pencil now and put in some swirls for the steam for the teapot, and maybe a couple of little ones on here for the tea. And we'll use our white with our fine detail brush, and we'll just do a few little dashes. On there. swirl in a cup. And then we'll do some dashes on the steam coming out the teapot. And then we'll go in and finish off these cupcakes. So we'll start with the white. I'm going to add in some Titan Buff. And a touch of brown. Water run on that one, so just sucking up the water with the brush. And let that dry off for a minute and work on another one. things to do.